Hey babes, bigs, and everyone in between. My name is Cub, and thanks for watching. This is Sarah. She's this Triceratops. Get it? She's my dinosaur buddy, and she's also the mom of all of my other stuffed animals. She takes care of all of them for me. Isn't that nice? Okay. So the topic of the video today is age regression and ABDL and just kind of that whole world and community. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos recently about there's a bunch of different YouTubers talking about age regression and little space and how it's a valid form of coping and therapist approved and all of these things, and then kind of just really bashing ABDL as a lifestyle, both sexually and non-sexually. There seems to be just a very black and white opinion of ABDL. So I figured as a age regressor and an ABDL baby, let's talk about it. Let me drink some water too. So I think that, let me start off by saying that age regression is definitely a valid coping mechanism and coping skill, whether it's involuntary, voluntary, whether it's a good experience for you or bad experience for you, your feelings and emotions and experiences are valid and your own to take ownership of and take responsibility of. That being said, I don't think that ABDL, obviously, I don't think that ABDL is a bad thing. I don't think that adults wearing diapers is a bad thing. I think that something that a lot of people who are having this conversation don't really consider is adults who are incontinent or struggle with those kinds of things. Maybe they're not incontinent all the time, or maybe they're just had a baby vaginally and are bleeding a lot and they need to be wearing a diaper in order to keep everything contained. That's valid and that's totally fine, and I don't feel like people who have these experiences and different ways that they go about their body and different ways that they go about their life, I don't think that we should shame them, and I don't think that they're doing anything wrong or nasty or anything like that. People wear diapers for all different kinds of reasons, and I don't necessarily think that any reason is bad, but I don't want to say that I don't think that people come into the community or to the kink irresponsibly. There's definitely people in every community, in every kink even, that's going to be engaging in the community and the kink or activity that the community is engaging in irresponsibly. There's always going to be people at large who have bad intentions in every community, who are trying to take advantage of people or make people feel bad, or they feel really bad, so they are making other people feel bad even if it's not a conscious effort. So I do want to acknowledge that those people do exist, but I don't think that it's most people in the ABDL community, both sexual and non-sexual. I don't think that at all. In my experience, people in the ABDL community are very aware of what they're getting themselves into and what they enjoy. And they're also very aware of consent. And I think that that's something else that we don't really talk enough about as a society in general. When you're age regressing, particularly involuntarily, as like a coping mechanism, or like you've had some trauma in your past, or whatever it is you're experiencing or doing or whatever, that can get a little bit tricky. Because if you don't talk about consent or your boundaries, then that's where I think people get confused and they don't draw the line that they should, or don't see the line like they should, because we as a society don't talk about consent and boundaries the way that we should. So for me, when I was getting into a dynamic with my daddy, we talked about my little space as a coping mechanism, and then we also talked about our sexual interests kind of separately, because my little space is non-sexual for me. But we still had those conversations of, how do you like to be interacted with when you're in those different headspaces? How do you like to be touched? How do you like to be handled? How do you like to be spoken to? How do you speak when you're in those headspaces? Just those conversations are so important, and I don't feel like we as adults are having them enough, or teaching our children to have those kinds of healthy communication, boundary, all those good things. There's actually a creator who I have been following for a long time, and I love her on YouTube. She's Sunny Little Days, or Sunny Whittle Days, and she posted on her Instagram that she was making spreadsheets for this specific conversation that I'm talking about consent, and do you wear a diaper? Do you not wear a diaper? How do you use your diaper? Do you want to be changed by somebody else? Do you want somebody else to watch while you use your diaper? Do you need to be alone for those activities? There's so many questions and so much nuance that goes into everybody's life and everybody's feelings, and as much as we want to have people understand us fundamentally and us not have to communicate that or not say anything, that's just, nobody lives in our reality except us, and unfortunately we can't invite people into our reality unless we talk about these things and have these conversations about consent and boundaries. So, hold on, let me fix myself. Okay. So I thought of something else. If you are like an influencer or somebody who's posting about your experiences or lifestyle or anything like that online, on social media, on YouTube, anything like that, my opinions on that is, I don't necessarily think that minors should be posting extensively on the internet at all. I don't feel like children can conceptualize the risk that is involved with posting things on the internet. And growing up, my mom did have access to the internet, but she had like dial-up, and there wasn't a lot of internet safety through her generation and then into mine. And now that I think millennials and Gen Zs are having kids, we're having more of that internet safety conversation. But I am 24 years old. I am well over the age of 18. I don't need minors interacting with my content or accounts anywhere on social media. I just, as much as I think that age regression is a valid coping mechanism, it would be inappropriate for me, I feel like, to be interacting with minors extensively on the internet as somebody who is an adult. Like, that's just odd. Yeah, I think that's my whole video. There we go, I did it. So just, if you're online and you're an age regressor and an ABDLer and it's non-sexual for you, or sexual, or however you want to play it, live your best life. But just make sure that you are being aware of the presence that you bring onto the internet, and just, you know, have that sense of self, that awareness of your own boundaries and your own consent in what you are doing on the internet as an adult. Because as much as we love to live the baby lifestyle, we are adults first and foremost. It's right there in the name, adult baby diaper lover. That's me, adult. Alright, that's my whole video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Remember to give this video a thumbs up if you like this content. For more padded lifestyle stuff that I can't show here or won't show here, go check out my JFF. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!